Welcome back to another live stream, guys. This is Lucky and Jazz. Hi, Jazz.
Hey, Lucky.
How's it going? We have
Um,
a fun topic. You guys haven't seen me on my channel. I apologize. I will be back tomorrow. Sometime I need my little internet breaks. But we have a fun topic. So we have Keisha Kayor with this new face. That was the only thing that stuck out to me. We got
okay,
Nicki
so
Minaj.
Mhm.
Nicki Minaj responded about her new face. Then we got J Lo. I was empathizing with J Lo. And then we got Gilbert Arenas. Did you hear Gilbert Arenas?
No, what'd he say?
He said that he lies to his wife at least 10 to 12 times a day. It's her job to figure out the lies. But let's start with J Lo, shall we?
Jesus, my
Do
nerves.
you think you've truly been loved?
No.
No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have.
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back,
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable, it's that they're not capable.
they can't love.
They don't have it in them.
They have
They
not-
need to appreciate the little person inside of
They
them.
have
They
little
need to
to
love
give.
them. Yeah.
You've been in relationships with
And they
people.
gave me what they had.
Right, but
They
it's not
gave me
enough.
all of it. Every time.
But it's this much. It's a
All the
little bit.
rings, all the things I could ever want.
Right.
They tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But
They didn't love you
they didn't,
and didn't know you.
and I didn't love myself.
Right. It's tough. This is some journey, right?
It is.
And I was thinking about your music. Most of your songs are about love. They really are.
They're all
And-
about love. But I think when my life changed a year and a half ago, I really went on the journey to figure that part of myself out. And now I'm in a place, and during that summer, I remember sitting outside with my closest friends and going, this little girl who was 7 years old, barefoot, dirty feet, ripped nightgown, 6, 7 years old, did all of this. And I never gave her, I don't give her credit. All I ever think about is I could be better at this, I could be better at that. I'm not good enough. It's not good enough. Never,
Right.
I'm never perfect. And it's this thing, instead of just going, you did really good. You did
Yeah.
really good. Look at you. Not because you're famous, not because you've made movies, because you're a good person, you're a good friend.
Yeah.
You're a good mom.
Right.
You're a good daughter. You're a good person. You're a good human. In all of this, you were that. And that's when I started really changing how I looked at myself and appreciated myself and giving that little girl who, and then did all of this other stuff too, the credit that she deserved. And I was able to feel really peaceful and calm by myself.
I
Mm.
can't help every time I watch her, I think of I could fall.
You think of Selena? Listen, I loved Selena, and I loved J Lo as Selena. She
Yeah.
killed the role. I'm not mad at J Lo as an actress, honestly. A lot of her
I
movies,
think she does better acting
yeah,
at
and
everything she played in. Enough, Made in Manhattan.
all of that.
What was the other popular one?
She was even
Wedding Planner.
Wedding Planner.
All of
She was
those.
even in that movie with Samuel L. Jackson with the snake in the swamp. Anaconda. She was in Anaconda.
So my thoughts on her opinion saying that she never felt good enough. I've had this problem.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it comes from when you're a kid and someone always doing something for you that makes or have you second guess what you did. But that could become a problem in a relationship because you start feeling like there has to be something more. There has to be something more. And then when you have your own way of looking at love and these people, the person that you're in a relationship with doesn't do those steps, you question if they love you. So I wonder if that was her problem. But the thing is, J Lo is old. Okay.
Okay.
You wouldn't say she old? In the entertainment world, she old.
Oh yeah, she's definitely more of a mature entertainer at this
I like
time.
that you said that. This is why you're here. You teach me how to say stuff. She's old as hell. She she now in regular world, she not. But I would say For JoJo to be that attractive and she keeps going through men where she explains how they gave her a lot of things. They may have love to their capacity. It still was not good enough for her. So that means you leave yourself as the only person good enough for you. I don't know.
I
Do you
think
say she's go ahead.
no, I think she said it. She said she didn't love herself. So she probably was doing a lot of self-sabotaging, like a lot of internal, you know, like tearing herself down. And although her experience with these men were probably true, she probably was incapable of really receiving love because she wasn't loving herself. So she couldn't even recognize, even if they were giving her what she deserved, she didn't recognize it because she didn't love herself enough. If you can't love yourself, you won't be able to see love when it's in front of you. In fact, you're gonna do
Do you
everything.
think most people love themselves though?
No, not most people. I don't
But
know.
there's people in relationships.
I
So
know.
something gotta be happening where most people don't love themselves, but they're able to love.
I think enough people love themselves if they are capable of staying in committed, healthy relationships. But I think there are a lot of people who suffer internally a lot and battle with imposter syndrome. I can relate where you're feeling like it's never good enough. You're overlooked,
Oh
or
my
you feel
gosh,
like
is that what that's called?
that's imposter syndrome. It's like you're in the seat and you're doing the thing, but you feel like you're not worthy of the seat, even though you keep getting
I
asked to.
have that.
Mhm. That's a thing, and
Where
it's
does that come from?
just
I wonder. Not trying
I
to
don't,
like you're supposed to
yeah,
know,
I
but
don't
just
really know. I know there are a lot of different things. It could be things that have happened, you know, in your early upbringing, things that you may have been exposed to or experienced, or how you experience like embarrassment or shame or defeat. It's so many things, but there it is a word for it. Definitely imposter syndrome. And she has that bad. She
see,
probably still got it.
I think I have that bad. I'm being honest because I look at things the glass half empty,
Hmm.
not half full. So you'll say you're doing a good job here. If there's still more stuff that needs to be done, I'm gonna shoot down the good job. Or even in relationships, like I always question if someone said that they love me, I always question it because I don't know if it's me or them. I'm gonna say it's them. You know what I'm saying?
Why
But
do you think you do that though? Like, why do you feel when
because
someone
to
tells you they
me,
love you, you're like, nah?
because the steps gotta match with love. Love is an action word. So if you do too much of trying to convince me of your words and then you have a problem with consistent actions, yeah, I may have believed you at some point and really would have went with it, but then after them actions ain't being consistent, you don't fucking love me, nigga. Then I get into that spot and then I get really agitated because why you don't love me. Then I start taking it personal, you know?
Well, I think that's valid. You're right. Like, love is an action. So if the actions aren't lining up with the words, then it's valid to question what's coming out his mouth. But I thought if it was like he's showing up with action, backing up his words, and you're still not believing that he loves you. Has that ever been the case? Like he's actually showing you everything that he needs to, and you're still like, nah, I think
See,
shit.
let's let quickly let's unpack the needs to. To me, I don't believe, and it's just a belief. I could change this. I'm sure I will. Um, I don't believe that you should love people the way you see love. I think you should love people the way they see it.
I agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
so if what I have run into, not now, what I have run into in the past is people trying to love me at the capacity that they see fit or that they're used to loving the last person. So if the last person wasn't tripping on this or I'm not tripping on this, so you shouldn't. I don't like shit like that. So but yeah. This
Mhm.
I want to get into this
Yeah,
next fun one.
yeah. I think people.
Go ahead.
No, we can continue. I was just gonna piggyback off what you said, but I can hold
Okay,
it.
let's go, Keisha. So Keisha Kayor.
like just trying to protect the business that you guys have built while
I have a
he's
system.
personally.
I take his apps off his phone. First thing I do, I delete Instagram. I delete everything. Even if I got to change his password, I'm changing it because
Yeah.
I don't need the public to know he's having an episode. You realize you'd never know about any other episodes since September 13th
yeah.
because I control that. because you're not going on Instagram, you're not going on Twitter, it's deleted, you know, and I just control everything at home. And now before the episodes come, I catch it. So that's why he hasn't had another one. And how you catch that is he doesn't speak to you. He wants to be left alone. He don't eat. He does not sleep. Text messages, there's a period after each word. And I'm like, you're going through an episode. You're sick. No, I'm not. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Why do you think that? You're not speaking to me. Well, there's nothing to talk about. I said, well, that's not how you speak to your wife. And I'm like, you're sick. And we snap out of it right then.
Wow. You know, we heard Kim this week say how Kanye just used to give away their cars and stuff when he would go through episodes. And in the book, you talk about,
I did
that.
You just used to be giving away stuff.
I gave away jewelry.
Money.
Jewelry cost so much. You know how much it costs for jewelry? Like,
Yeah.
I would give my friends jewelry, and like they know I went well, they'll take it.
They take
That's why, like,
advantage of you.
I felt like, damn, they know something's going on with me, but they'll take it. So like, when I got out of jail, like I cut off all my friends, my old friends. I'm like, damn, they were taking advantage.
I wonder what the psychology is behind that. Like, why when you going through an episode, you
Give
feel
away
like,
money, and I don't know.
You don't care
You're not
about
in your
nothing.
mind because the money don't. It's not. You kind of like in a warped world. It's almost like it's a psychosis. You know what I'm saying? It's not. You dealing with stuff like you hearing voices.
Yeah, they have voices.
You know, and you hearing voices too. Like it's telling you to. You know, you might think that Charlamagne I might think that you trying to fight me. You ain't even did nothing. You be like, bro, I ain't did nothing to you. What's wrong? Like I'll be like trying to fight you, Charlamagne. Like you did this. You know what you did? You stole something from me. And you be like, bro, I ain't stole nothing from you. But in my mind, I'm like, it's the truth. So that's what I used to deal with.
how did therapy and the self-work change your relationship with anger? And like, do you still wrestle with that same inner voice that you talk about throughout the book?
I don't. I don't. It's like I seen a therapist. I got so taking medicine that prescribed for me what she thought, and it worked. And I haven't had any other problems.
You know, I always wondered when people have episodes, what sparks it, right? Do you know what sparked the episodes?
I think drug use
Stress.
and stress,
Not sleeping.
not sleeping combined. It wasn't just like, okay, I drank the lean. It was also I'm drinking lean, and I had like 5 or 6 charges, open cases. So I was so stressed out. So, you know, I'm going to the studio and I got all these artists. I'm steady working hard. You know what I'm saying? So from the outside looking in, you'll think that I'm not fazed about it. But it's almost like I pushed the cases out my mind. You see what I'm saying? But it's still a stress. But I'm just not dealing with it. I'm not talking about it. I'm just like acting like it's never going to happen. Like court not going to never happen. But that's a big stress. And I'm steady drinking lean, smoking weed, taking pills to kind of numb that. And then one day it's just like the straw to break the camel back. Boom. Now my mind can't take it. When I had the episode in 2019, 2020,
COVID.
it was COVID. That really just messed me up. And then another thing what triggered the episode was I got my teeth done and they put me under anesthesia and the drugs messed me up when I came from out of anesthesia. I was having an episode flipping out. And I'm like, damn, I ain't even doing, you know, I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? So even if I go, it's like, damn, I never thought that would be a trigger, but that was a trigger. So it could be a multitude of things.
What does peace feel like for you, Keisha?
I like to see him well. I don't like to see him like stressed out. That's why in my interview with Carlos, I said only thing he got to do is shower and go to the studio. I don't allow him to do anything else because I don't want him. He can't handle stress because stress is a trigger and stress brings on episodes. So I don't allow any stress. He just be calm, wake up, go to bed early, take care of the kids, go to the studio, and that's it. My husband takes very good care of me. I'm not in need or want for anything, but I have to take care of him first because he has mental health issues. I don't. I'm stronger than he is.
What made you not run? Because you could have ran. You could have been like, I'm out. Nah, this ain't for me. But you stood 10 toes down and said, I'm going.
I experienced him going through episodes before we were married. And I was like, man, somebody got to help this guy. It was really, really bad. It's really sad because you're seeing someone you don't know. They're saying things to you that are disrespectful, so mean. And you have to just like, but I'm not talking to Gucci. Who is this person? Right. So I felt like if I left, he wouldn't have been the same. He needed someone to help him. And then when we were supposed to get married, someone said to me, you know, you're going to have to deal with this through your marriage, right? And I'm like, I'm cool with it. I'm going to fix him.
How heavy was it in the process of trying to help him get better?
There was one point I had to just go on my knees and pray because it's like, he's like, I don't like you. I mean, the things he would say are really, really bad. And I just have to like take a deep breath. Like I said, I'm not talking to you right now. You want to sit here and be crazy alone? I'm not going to allow you to be crazy alone.
Yeah.
So like, I have to like set a plan up. Like at one point I called his attorney. I called some bodyguards and I just planned a whole kidnap and we kidnapped him and took him to the hospital because we could not get him to the hospital. And he was trying to fight them and everything, but it was 6 of them. He couldn't handle it. And we threw him in the car. He would try to jump out the car. So we put him in the center of the car, you know? And that was like his last episode.
No, that's a 5150, right? That's what they call it?
When you go to the like,
Yeah, but they try to do things where he could sign himself out. And I'm like, he's not signing, like I'm stern with them. He's not signing himself out. I'm his wife and I'm his power of attorney. He ain't going nowhere. Like I have to be strict. It's kind of like you have to go in mother mode, you know, and put your foot down.
Were you ever scared?
I was never scared he would hurt me. People were scared for me, but it's a scary moment. Yeah.
Because I asked her that, was she scared? She was like, I'm not scared of you.
I tell him all the time, I'm not scared of you, so we gonna figure this out. Like I have to get gangster with him because and I'm like, all right, we gonna see. Yeah. Let's do this. You know?
What's your thoughts, Jazz? The question today is, what is a wife in 2025? Go ahead.
You want me to answer that first?
No, that's the question. You can, but that's the you can talk about the clip first. I want to know what you think.
The clip is interesting because while I do appreciate her being a supportive wife to a man that has a mental illness, that is a lot to take on. God bless her. Gucci is very lucky to have someone who doesn't give up on him because of what he's going through. With that being said, something about something about her energy gives I'm in control of you and I know I'm in control of you and I'm going to keep you in control. And I don't know if it's all because of this mental illness. I'm not saying anything. I'm just it's giving handler. It's giving like I'm going to maybe use your mental illness as an excuse to control your move, your everyday life. Because I mean, it's just the words that she used. I don't allow him to do this. I take that. I get it, but I also feel you still have to allow him to be himself and handle, like, give him what's needed to take care of his mental illness to avoid these episodes. But I feel like, I don't know, it's almost like a pet. I don't know. I don't want to disrespect it. It just
Just say
sounds
what you think. Just say what you
it,
think.
yeah, it just sounds like she's treating him like a pet. Like you're mine. I know what's best. I'm stronger than you. It's like I know what's best for you, Gucci man, and I'm your down wife. You listen to what I say, as opposed to I'm here to support you. I know you have the issue. Let's do the things to help you, but I still trust you to be yourself. I still trust you to live life on your own terms. I feel like there's something about that that's not happening there. So it's just your raw red
See,
flag for
I,
me.
I looking at the full clip, I think differently. I think she's definitely doing her part. When you
Mhm,
have a husband who has a mental disorder that he can't understand, and you have to be the stronger one in areas because he has his brain is clearly fighting him in ways where it could snap on you, it could snap on your children. So you definitely have to put things and say, I don't allow you to do this because you're not mentally at a capacity where you can make decisions where you would know whether or not it triggers you. So I think that
mhm.
I commend her. I didn't when I looked at when I first seen the clip, I'm like, is she like his helper? Then I listened to the whole thing. I'm like, okay, if you have
Yeah.
an episodes where you could potentially abuse me, or you may feel like I don't need to be on my medication because I'm fine. You know, sometimes that'll happen. Um, and then you as his wife see, okay, I love you. I'm gonna love you past your issues. I'm gonna do this past your issues. I think that that is a great woman, especially coming from a situation where he did leave her money. You know what I'm saying? When he went to prison. So I think that's a different type of man now. Whether women will do this for a regular man, I don't know, we can argue that, but I think that that's a great because I would just yearn as a woman who had any type of disability or anything like that, where a man would love me beyond what he feel he can go get somebody else without that issue to still be like, "You know what? No, don't." It's just like, when you get up in age with your grandmama, "No, you can't eat that. No, don't do that." You know what I'm saying? Like, you kinda become their parent in a sense for people
Yeah.
who have mental issues or they just don't wanna take care of themselves. I would just think when she needs strength, how is he showing up for her? You know what I'm saying? That
Mhm.
would just be my question. Now, Nicki Minaj decided to weigh in on this. It was funny, so we gonna listen to Nicki Minaj.
Always tell y'all about anybody that will sit up in your face and lie like that is a motherfucking fool. Why would you have had to decide if you was still gonna do a show because you got bit by a bee? Bitch, who the fuck you think we was born yesterday, dumb bitch, your children are expecting better out of you now. Why would they have had to talk to you? You see how you just revealed that the show was to talk to you? You see how you just revealed that it was not about Gucci Man, you silly hoe? Now I can say a lot of things now. And Miss Deb said she want to get in on the motherfucking action too. But I said we trying to be nice. Since when, if somebody's spouse, I use that term loosely depending on certain things that since when somebody's spouse gotta do the show? Bitch, if you had a allergic reaction, bitch, why you didn't do your motherfucking self a motherfucking favor and us, bitch, and sit the fuck outside? You are that insecure about your aging face that you have lied to millions of people and said, once you seen how, notice she ain't say she got bit by a bee or some shit that she had an allergic reaction. Notice she ain't say that prior to that footage coming out. Like, she didn't wake up that morning and say, oh, shit. My God, y'all, I got this sting by a bee. Well, I got allergic reaction blood clot Missy. Oh, bitch, it was when the footage came out that she seen her filter didn't come with her outside that day. Is when the liar got to lying. Holla, do I got in that fucking body in here, bitch? It was when she saw herself that she jumped. Haha. You jumped. It was when she saw that the filler had stopped filling in. That liar got to doing what the liar is known to best do, bitch. And every day I want you to look in the mirror, y'all, and say, God, remove every liar from my motherfucking face. The bitch is so insecure at her face. Simply being her face. You see, not everyone ages like the generous queen, because my light inside, my grace, my peace, my love, my paradox, my conundrum, my truth, my generosity, my humility, my restraint, when I have the power to do so much damage and choose not to. That is why the queen ages gracefully. The queen is queening, and she does that very naturally.
What's wrong?
Oh, hold on. I had to laugh. Let me let her finish.
Face is the face of grace. You see, you want the after effects. Y'all all want the after effects of being queen. Y'all want the after effects of being, but you would never have made it through becoming queen. Now, I'm no psychology major, and I don't know much about much, but boy, do narcissists sure have a way of pushing themselves to the front.
Super chat stopped the live. Shout out to Nixon. Thank you. He said, so Nikki doing story narrations now. Nikki been doing this since a kid. Well, I don't know if y'all know she took them classes to learn them different accents. So this is the beef. This is the beef. So in that same interview, it was supposed to be interviewing Gucci Mane. However, Keisha Kaur talked the whole interview. It was like we didn't get to interview Gucci Mane. We're interviewing his handler. Secondly, DJ Envy geared all of the schizophrenic questions to then mention Nicki Minaj. Because now the narrative is Nicki Minaj is schizophrenic. They went from failed proof of cocaine to schizophrenic. So then in that same interview, Keisha Kaur mentions how a lot of people took advantage of Gucci Mane and didn't thank him for helping them in the career. Nicki Minaj was the first person they mentioned as a person who didn't thank Gucci Mane for her career.
Mhm.
So then the internet does what it does, and it finds different times where Nicki thanked Gucci Mane. Now their beef comes from Nicki saying that Keisha Kaur is a narcissist and she does a good job of pushing herself to be more relevant in the front of Gucci Mane. So we thank her for anything Gucci Mane did instead of pushing her husband towards the front as far as his success.
Mhm.
Now, my thoughts on the when she gave her opinion to other people, I could see how people could think, okay, why are you pushing yourself to the front to
Mhm.
make it seem like I do this, I do this. He can't do this. That's a perspective. But why do we look at it like that? Because then we could say Nikki husband needs to be her handler. Because why is your husband letting you always go online cussing somebody out?
Because Nikki's the boss. Like Keisha's the boss. But that was my point. Like, don't support, so don't call it support so much where he can't even speak for himself, where he, when he's not having an episode, you're still trying to control his every move, the things that he's saying. So, and that's why I'm like, God bless her for enduring that with him, because it is like a lot to have to be also a mother, a caregiver, a therapist in your marriage. That's a heavy load to take on. And like you said, who's being there for her? Is it balanced, or is she having to pour all of the energy? And maybe that's why she does take the reins, because she knows how much she's invested. She know how much time she spent pouring into this man. So it's her way, or no way. And I hope that she does still, like, build him up as a man, like build his confidence enough to know that he is capable despite his mental illness, and not use that as a crutch as to why someone always has to handle and speak for you. Because I do agree, like in that interview, it was all about Keisha. But also Nicki Minaj sounds, I don't know what that was. That was a lot of personalities at once. She's always been like that, been kind of quirky and charismatic like that. But also, I feel like Nikki does these random rants unprovoked, and I wonder, what the reason is.
I
Like,
think it'd be provoked. I just think it's just kinda like, 'cause I'm on YouTube, and people do shit behind the scenes that make me wanna call they ass out on camera, but I will look like I'm doing an unnecessary rant because people don't know what happened behind the scenes, you know? So I
Mhm.
that's the only reason why I take that stance. My thing is to ask, or just in general, when we looking at, just because I was looking at the comments, when we looking at women who are wives and they actually have duties that they do for their husband, whether it be the dumb bitches on that, Dear Wifey podcast, where they're, "Oh, my husband, I ironed his clothes so he could cheat," or it's this situation, it's like it gets backlash a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, "Oh, you doing too much." So I would just ask, what do you think a wife is in 2025? Like, what is the duties? If being stronger than him seems like, "I don't know if I could do that. What about being strong for me?" Or, um, shit, allowing your man to cheat because he take
Yeah.
care of everything. Like, what would like? Because it seems like anything that has to do with work or providing for a man in relationships is always a negative connotation. If you allow your man to be your man, or you actually support him and above and beyond. So I just wanted to know, just from you, what is the negative connotation you think?
Well,
Or you
allowing,
don't see that?
no, well, I mean, you said a couple things like the allowing. I don't see me supporting my man just because I allow him to cheat. You know what I mean? That's not
You wouldn't
support.
support him?
Girl, no. Why the hell would I do that? Why would I do that? That doesn't make sense to me. But that's just me. As far as what a wife is in
Coretta
20,
Scott did it.
pardon me.
Coretta Scott did it.
God God bless her ministry. You know what I mean? She had to do what she needed to do at that time with that man. If she turned the other cheek, do your thing, Miss Coretta. She did what needed to be done. I'm not saying that's what other women should do, because betrayal is betrayal. And that's something hard to come back from. You betrayed a relationship. Now we got to rebuild our trust. Now I'm always looking over my shoulder. It's just weird. What a woman, what a wife is in 2025, I don't know. I think that would depend on the man that's looking for a wife. What does he need? Because every man requires something different from his wife, or wants something different. Some men want
Yeah.
a woman that's just in the house. She ain't got to do nothing but be there for him. He's not looking for her to do anything outside of the home. There are other men that want to work with their wives and build with their wives and consider her intellect. And it really just depends. What do you think a wife is? I
Well,
don't.
from we went from Cardi B in media. We went from, well, no, we went from Sierra to Cardi B to all these different celebrities that pretty much helps people get these opinions as to if they want to be a wife or not.
Mhm.
Um, for me, I think the definition of wife never changes. I think we get away from the duties, and I think we try to manipulate what a help me is. I think we may not want to help the people that we meet. You know what I'm saying? I think we may feel like it's less, I'll just fuck him. But to me, nothing that she mentioned is at the same level of having sex, if that makes sense. Like
What
we
you
would
mean?
sit up here, women would sit up here and be in a relationship with men and say, I'm not about to do this, I'm not about to do this, but you still fucking him. And if we understood how it changes our mind and our chemical imbalance where we just become more of him, whether you like him or not, whatever you pour into him, if it's something negative, if he rude, every time you allow him to lay with you, you are shifting your chemical imbalance. Things of us as a woman starts to become that man that we're sleeping with. So even for us to kind of have a negative outlook on taking care of that, it's just kinda like, what is this negative? It's like we have everything negative to feel about doing for
So let me ask
instead
you.
of but we
Oh,
never wanna cut off having sex with. Like,
mhm.
men are so these things that we can't help, but we still wanna fuck them. You get what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, well, I feel like because sex is the easiest thing to do. That's just like when men say he'll get a woman pregnant before he'll wife her. You know what I'm saying? How could you not want to show up as a man, as a husband, before you would plant your seed in a woman you wouldn't even consider your wife? What were the duties there? My thing is, what do you consider the duties that women look negative on? Because being there for somebody that you love should be a given. That should be easy for most women. Showing up for them.
I don't think women be loving the men that they with.
Oh, well, see, I don't know anything about that because why would you be with someone that you don't love? That's
But see,
that's like
that's what I'm saying. Why would you
the
be with a
quickest.
man that you have a problem doing duties for? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
you kinda
Who's doing
delay.
that?
Hold on.
Oh, am I? Oh,
There you go, you
okay.
back on track. Yeah, so what I mean is when I said earlier love is an action word, most
Hmm.
men have expressed that they're in relationships with women who actions do not show that they love them outside of when
History.
she wants to have sex and I guess if you buy her something, right?
Hmm.
If he cannot afford to do the little things that made you feel like this is love, kind of like J Lo,
Hmm.
it's not enough. I can't be with you anymore. He could be at a disadvantage. He could be like Gucci Mane. I can't give you emotional support. Most women leave if he's not emotionally supportive. I
Hmm.
can't give you um I can't relieve certain stress from you right now because it may be more detriment to me. I
Hmm.
think women may look at Gucci Mane differently because he has money and he can afford a lifestyle. But unless a man could give you a lifestyle, I don't see him getting that type of love that Keisha Kaur is displaying for her husband because there has to be an incentive now for us as women to be able to love you to that magnitude while we're saying that same man needs to love us unconditionally. I feel
Yeah.
like we have a lot of conditions on how we love men and we expect their love for us to be unlimited in that of the Bible. You kinda
I
get what I'm
think
saying? Like
I
go
think
ahead.
that I think that's a fallacy because I mean it's okay to have conditions on what you are willing to tolerate, and love sometimes is not enough to tolerate certain things, you know. I mean, there are a lot of people who will leave their spouse, whether it's a man or a woman, if they become sick, if they fall ill and get cancer. You've heard plenty of stories of men leaving their wives on their deathbed in a new relationship right after that.
I
So
wonder how she was.
is love unconditional? I don't know, but I I I I just think that if you are a man and you're with a woman that you know is not showing love or appreciation to you, leave that woman. What are you sticking around for if she is blatantly showing you that her love for you is surface level and shallow? She doesn't love the person that you are. She doesn't believe in you, believe in your vision, and she doesn't have the capacity to love you the way you need to be loved. Instead of complaining, love yourself enough to say, "Baby, you ain't the one for me. Get out of my way so I can find someone who can do that." There are a lot of women out here who love on a very superficial, shallow level, but there are a lot of men out here who try to get women on a superficial, shallow level. So once, if you're leading with, superficial things and what you can do and what you can buy and all this and that, and then you get the woman that's only attracted to that, and then expect her to show up for you in these ways that are a little more grounded and rooted, and you don't, well, you have to consider the part you play in it as well. So I just I just think that I mean, you do. I feel like you do. Did you leave with intentions on finding somebody that you really want to get to know and grow, or did you see a woman that you think is only enticed by a certain look and a certain status, so that's how you showed up to
I
get
could
that?
see that.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
But see, I think that men are taught to love us even when we're unloving from how we look at mom. She did the best she could. That we may think it's so small. The same way when you don't have a father, you learn to love a ain't shit nigga by saying, if I do more, he'll love me back. You'll try to earn it. It's a psychological thing. I think that men suffer more of a psychological thing where, yes, even to the woman who's doing something that we would say, just leave her because we can leave. Well, it's conditional. I don't think they're quickly gonna leave that woman unless she do something super extreme where he has to. I think they have a unhealthy way. This might sound crazy, but they're I think they're more accessible to emotional abuse from women because of how that whole she did the best she could type of narrative, or strong black woman, or I think everything is catered to us always feeling like that little girl who's kinda like, "Don't be too much on her," or "She tried," or people like in my family, I have seen women being able to cry on a drop of a dime to get a man's emotions involved. I know men who I hate to see women cry, so he's staying again in a relationship that's not good for him. So I think that it sounds easy for us to say leave, but I don't think they're most likely gonna leave in those situations because her behavior seems normal to what they see in women all the time.
well, that means you need to go talk to somebody because you're deliberately choosing to stay in a mentally and emotionally abusive relationship because, oh, she's doing the best she can. This is the best she can do for you, is by emotionally and mentally abusing you, and that's what you feel you deserve. So I don't know about that one. I don't get the correlation. Well, my mama did the best she could, and she abused my father, so I'm gonna go ahead
So
and
psychological, if your mother was not a pleasant woman, meaning like she didn't, not saying she was a mean or something like that, but if most of her interaction and conversation with you is no, go over there and do that, it's more dictatorship, right? If most of her interaction with you is you're not doing it right, do it, and it's more so because women don't really know how to raise men. So the way that they approach giving you directions or when you're being defiant or whatever could be that of an aggressive way. Or even how she expressed her feelings. Yes, how you have more men who are able to be more argumentative than actually just saying, hey, this is the problem and allow you to fix it. I'm not about to argue, I'm just about to state what the problem is. You have men more responsive um, like women. So what I'm saying is when you're used to that type of conversation with women and then you meet women who are more
Mhm,
that's the way we communicate generally.
mhm.
I think you're not really going to look at it like abuse or going to look at it negatively because you're used to experiencing that.
Yeah, you've
You get what I'm saying?
normalized. Yeah, those are people that have normalized toxicity. They have
Yeah.
endured toxic situations for so long, they think this is normal in relationships. And until you start to see healthy relationships, you'll start to realize, and it'll also take you to doing some inner work as well. Because why do you think toxicity is normal? Why do you think you have to endure abuse to be in a relationship, whether you're a man or a woman? I think if you're a man doing that and you're just putting up with it, there has to be a deeper reason than, oh, I just think that she's doing the best she can. No, there's
You
something.
think most of us are emotionally you think most women are emotionally abusive? I
most
do.
most
You
women are
think most emotionally abusive to where it's so common that
I don't
you're
think so.
not assessing that as abuse. You just think, "Oh, women is crazy."
No, I don't think most. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know because
I
like
can
most
say
women are emotionally abusive. Like, so are we saying like most women when they get into relationships, they get into them to emotionally abuse their men? I
no,
don't.
your intentions may not be to be emotionally abusive, but I had to go to therapy to learn that I was emotionally abusive to an ex that I felt like he deserved it. Fuck that nigga, right? But it doesn't change that I was emotionally abusive. So, for example, if you kind of shut down, or if a person starts to tell you how they feel, and how they feel could be something you're doing that's not wrong. So, one of the things of being emotionally abusive is you start to tell them how they feel. Like he could say, I feel this way, the way you approach me with this, it made me feel this. No, you just feel that way because you just mad that I woo, woo. That's emotionally abusive. You
Mhm,
just dismissed and then told him. Or another form of emotional abuse is, so you're saying that I'm not good enough? He didn't even say that. Now it's about you. So now I have to get out of feeling about I got to get out of my own way of wanting you to care about what I'm saying, to then put what I feel on pause and then take care of how you feel about it. And now you have taken up most of the emotional room because we have to now talk about how you feel about what of how you're perceiving it, not exactly what I said. So
mhm,
what I'm saying, I women do that to me as friends.
hmm.
So in a relationship, yeah, friends is no, you just saying that because such
Not a
and such.
friend.
No,
That's not.
you're always trying to tell me what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's not a friend. That's nobody you should be around. Like,
I agree.
you kn I do think that most people I don't know if it's emotional. I wouldn't say that most people are emotionally abusive. I think maybe most people don't have good communication skills or conflict resolution skills in relationships, in intimate romantic relationships. They may be great at work, they may be great everywhere else, but when it comes to being vulnerable in relationships, it may be harder for them. It's hard for sometimes for women or men to express exactly how they feel. It's hard for a lot of women and men too to take any type of criticism or pushback or correction. They get on the defense, like you said, they'll push it off onto the other person. But that's a them problem. I don't think anybody is responsible for somebody that's irresponsible with their emotional intelligence, because what we're talking about now is engaging with someone who lacks so much emotional intelligence that they're going to emotionally abuse the person that loves them in the relationship, and then that person in the relation thinks that this is what they deserve. Somebody just said that in the comments and said men put up with it because we know as men it's harder for us to get another woman.
Let me go find it.
That right there,
Oh,
that right there, we put up with it because it's hard for us as men to get another woman. That's problematic. The fact that you are willing to, because listen to what you're saying when you say that. I don't think that I am enough to get better than this. So I'm going to sit here and endure this abusive relationship because I don't think I can get anything better. That's ultimately what you're saying. Because who told you you can't get another woman? Do you feel that less of a man, that this is all you can, this is the best you can do? No, I believe that you can do better than that.
I think it's hard to get another. Well, this is how I read it because I didn't even think of it the way you said it because now I'm thinking. But to even get to the point to be in a relationship with somebody, like somebody enough to be in a relationship, and then find out they have little fucking toxic ways or little abusive ways, it might just be hard enough to get somebody that I like enough to get in a relationship to then see, that's how I thought. But
Yeah, I mean, it takes time, it takes vetting, but it also takes understanding, right? Like
I love that word.
if you don't know who you are as a person, if you don't even know what you have to give to a relationship, if you're just out here looking like, well, I want a wife, but are you ready to be a husband? You know what I'm saying? I want kids. I want a family. Okay, are you ready to show up and actually be a father?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and same goes for women. I feel like you should approach relationships knowing yourself so much that you are able to see who's worthy of giving your best self to. And
Self-aware. Mhm.
yeah, so I think that that's lacking a lot today.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Super chat says men are socialized to take certain behavior and physical abuse from childhood because we're supposed to be strong. Also, kids are socialized to give grace and excuses to mom, but not to dad. That's a good conversation for another day. The excuses to the mom and not the dad.
But
Ew.
oh, go ahead, my bad.
Another super chat. The boys don't hit girls, but not the other way around. Hey, I seen that. It was an experiment where it was um they teach boys, like, oh, well, I don't know, because my nephew, if somebody hit you, you hit them back. We didn't really say
Period.
gender, but even in that conditioning, women are never told to not, to keep their hands to themselves. I know I was, but then I hear that generally that women weren't. So I have to go with what people generally say. I know mom always said, just period, don't hit nobody that you can't beat up. So if it's a dude, if you hit him, you better know how to beat his ass. Just
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there have been women who have seen that to be normalized, but I can't relate to that. It's just we're not putting hands on each other. And if someone is striking you or you're striking someone, you're wrong. You're wrong for doing it, and they are wrong for doing that to you. No one should be hitting each other. Period.
see, I was raised that there's justifiable reasons to hit people first.
Oh shit. Like what?
Yeah. If they spit on you,
Okay. That's valid.
if
That's assault.
if they in your face too close and they talking like, or the one that I learned was if a girl come up to you and she say, "I heard you said," you gotta fight her because she already there with it. So hit her.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's crazy, but yeah,
I'm
because it turns into a fight anyway. Don't come in my face telling me what the fuck you heard, bitch.
lucky. I don't give a fuck what you heard. It's like what you hear. Tell the world.
But
Spitting
now
on
we
me,
politicking.
spitting on me, that's assault. I consider that assault. So yeah, it's time to get your ass beat. But like talking shit, it's until you really like putting
That's
your
what I
hand.
was taught. If she's within arm's reach,
Yeah,
it's fight.
now you can now it may be some shoving going on, but
Mhm.
I'm not teaching young boys or girls to think that it's normal to hit each other for any reason unless you're being physically harmed. You could
Yeah.
defend yourself, but no one should be using physical force to defend themselves if they have no reason to.
Now I did see an Asian woman talk about submission is actually good for us, and it's God's way to privilege. Let's just check it out.
Very. You guys do realize that biblical marriages and marriage roles, gender roles, are very in favor of women. Yeah, wives submit to your husbands, but it says after that, husbands love your wives like Christ loved the church. Let me break this down for you. Let's start with husbands love your wives like Christ loved the church. What did Christ do for the church because he loved his bride so much? He died, tortured, beaten, crucified, bled out, and died for us. Meaning that when the wife does something wrong, the husband who loves her so much will pay the price. It's his responsibility. The reason why it says wives submit is because the only person suffering the consequences of both of parties' actions is the husband. Say that your husband says, babe, can you not go to this place to get your car fixed? They're gonna charge you triple the amount. And you're like, well, I'm still gonna go anyways because it's 5 minutes down the road. You go, they charge you triple. Who's paying for it? Your husband. You do something wrong. Oh my gosh, you get a ticket. Like something happens. Who's paying for it? Your husband. Like, in every context, your husband is paying for it. Your husband is suffering the consequences. And that's why he's like, babe, please just listen to me. Can you just listen to me, please? Submitting to the husband is actually God being really fair to the man in the relationship because he has to face the consequences. So he's saying, wives, just make it a little bit easier for this man and just do as he says. And if it's wrong, well, he's gonna face the consequences of it anyways. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't really lose by submitting to a man who's willing to love you so much like Christ loved the church. That means he's gonna love you, care for you, and provide for you, protect you like God does. He is walking in righteousness in the eyes of God. If that's what he's striving for, it's actually the biggest blessing as a woman to be able to submit to a man who's so grounded in his faith that he can actually take you on. Like, be like, okay, now you're in my life. I'm gonna lead you to Christ. I'm gonna lead you stronger in faith because I love you. What did Jesus do for us? He made a way for us to be with God, to be united with God. That's what a husband's supposed to do. He's like, you know what? I'm going to take you on now and strengthen both of us in faith because now we're one. The husband leaves, the husband leads, the wife follows. Now you're going together. You're going together in pursuit of Christ. I would rather be the wife, and I am so grateful every day that I am a woman. I just need to say that. I appreciate you Christian men, biblically righteous men, so much. Thank you for your service.
I think she ate. She ate, period. I love
Really?
watching it again.
I,
Go ahead.
tell me,
What you think?
no, tell
What
me
did
why.
she say? I
Tell me
think
why.
she ate because she defined exactly Bible. The duties don't change. The position don't change. It's people who try to change. Marriage in general is a biblical act. It comes from religion. Okay, comes from people's beliefs. So, or not necessarily religion, just your belief in your spiritual relationship.
Mhm.
So that of a wife has to come from that. I think we have modernized and look at modern relationships to say, oh, like she said, the husband take care of everything. We'll say, oh, I know some men who don't take care of everything. I know some husbands that don't follow God. We're not talking about them niggas. We're talking about the exact order of Bible, which means that most of the people that don't follow this order should not have gotten married. Because now you put yourself in a position where biblically, even when you took the vow, we may think, oh, these vows aren't serious. You did a ritual, you did an oath, so it's serious. Now, whether you take it serious is up to you, but you definitely took it serious. The whole thing of, yes, God, I'm coming to you and I'm saying that I'm going to cover this woman, me as a woman, till death do us part, for better or worse. I'm going to submit to this man. Then, when you go back on it, this is my personal opinion. Don't say it in the Bible. I think you're cursed. Once you decide that I don't want to follow the duties and the vow that I took, and I'm going to start questioning God, and I'm going to pray to the same God that did not ordain this man. He wasn't a man of God when you met him, but you're expecting man of God actions. Then we start to decide, okay, I don't want to do these duties because he ain't the man of God. Those duties are what you took an oath to do. So I think she's correct as far as when you get behind that man is behind a vision according to Bible and according to marriage, you are in the right position and you're doing yourself a disservice. Call him. And if I fail, it's because the man that you appointed to me for me to follow. If I'm out here like a Jezebel or harlot with no covering, what they will say, who am I? Who am I? I'm out here chaotic like most women, trying to figure it out all over the place, not making no sense. When you're under a man of God, you now are under an order and you guys have a plan to follow consistently. You know what you're supposed to do. So anything that's outside of that, you're rebelling against the order. What do you think?
Mm. I think that,
That's what I heard.
listen, look, I think if you are a day-to-day practicing Christian and these are your beliefs, do what works best for you. I do believe you can still have God at the center of your relationship and be respectful of God and have some traditional values and still have modern ways. But if this is the way that you see fit, go right ahead. I don't think it's anyone's role to condemn how others live their life. Religion can be interpreted in so many different ways, right? And I just think you should interpret it as a means of what may work best for you and the person that you're with. And also, if that man is following God, we're talking about super righteous. Okay. We're talking about, rid of sin. You might have met this man as a virgin, right? Because that would be doing it the right way, right? So if that is what's happening, go for it. But I believe in God. I just start going, back to church. But and I love the word, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm out of order because sometimes I don't know, me and my man walk side by side and not me, walking under him or beneath him. And all of a sudden I'm disrespecting God because of that. You know what I mean? So
Well, I think the order comes in is if the man that you chose to submit to is not a man of God first.
mhm.
So whatever God he serves, whether it's good or bad,
Mhm.
we the God we serve is evident in our actions, not in our words. God,
Mhm.
you know his people by the actions. I don't mean
Absolutely.
religiously. I mean your heart you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? It expresses what you already feel.
Absolutely.
So if we pick a man, most of us did not pick a man of God. I don't
Mm.
think most of us can handle a man of God because when order comes in, we'll call that man controlling. We'll call him abusive. We'll call him strict. We'll call him all of that. If you really look at God, God is not funny. He's very strict and he mean what the fuck he say.
What are
Could you
some
be with God? Could you be with God?
Could I be with God?
If
Absolutely.
God was to put his spirit in human form, could you be with God?
Absolutely, because I mean, God is not going to do anything that is not in my best self-interest. He's going to lead me with considering me in the situation. It's not going to be this overbearing, controlling, taking you away from who you are in order to be with me. It's going to encourage me, it's going to uplift me, it's going to balance me.
Like a
It
man of God would.
I would, yeah, exactly. So, but that's why I wanted to ask you, like, what are some things that you feel a man of God would tell a woman that she would find
The same thing God says in the Bible that women don't follow. Galatians 5:17, walk in the spirit so you don't fulfill the lust of the flesh. We don't walk in the spirit. It's the first, we don't walk in the spirit. Our eyes tell us exactly what to look for. Walking in the spirit means I'm intuitive. I'm questioning I'm walking with righteous judgment. Righteous judgment means I understand this. It should look like these principles. So I think a man of God will tell you we reinforce the principles that God put forth that you believe is in that book when you took those vows. I think a
wait,
man of God would reinforce that. A man of God would say, "No, babe, we have to fast this month, or we have to do." He's going to create those orders. So if you're a woman that feel like you want to rebel or whatever the case may be, I think if he says something like, "You can't wear that," women don't like being told what to wear. That's controlling. But God tells you what to look like. You know what I'm saying? If we say, if he says your
but see,
language,
God is
maybe
not
maybe
man.
you cuss too much, maybe you're too judgmental, maybe you talk out of turn, maybe we're in front of people and he needs to just do his hand like this because you're talking. It's my turn to talk. The same thing they did with Tia Mowry and her husband on that interview where he put his hand up and because she kept over talking him. Women said, "Oh, I knew he was a narcissist when it happened." I think
Mm,
they would call God a narcissist. If you look at the Bible, God can come off real narcissistic. He
mm.
can. You worship me, do this for me, do this everything for me.
Yeah, so you know what, Lucky, when it comes to religion, it's an interesting thing because all of us are living in sin. So it's like, so now I can't have God at the center of my life or at the center of my relationship because I'm sinning on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all out here having premarital sex. Nobody is really doing the fasting. Now, if you are two people that really follow those commandments in the Bible, then do that. I don't think if a man is aligned with the right woman, she won't be rebellious to him, but he should definitely already be walking in that light and not just saying, well, the Bible says to this, now do that. If you're not already that man of God and only want to cherry pick the Bible as it pertains to how you want to operate in your relationship towards a woman, I don't think that's being fair with the Bible either. You're sinning and running through women and having children
Mhm.
out of wedlock and drinking and smoking and cussing and all type
But
of
he
stuff.
can then he coulda did all of that, and he coulda came and repented, and now he's a man of God.
Okay, if he's a man of God, okay, you could do that today and be living your life full of sin, all the
You can
days.
erase your wholeness
I don't know
under
about
God.
I don't know
Under
about
God.
I
God
don't know.
says you
I
bring
don't
it
know.
to God and he forgives you, he remembers no more.
Yeah, God does forgive. I mean, it is what it is, but
So
I
he was a
just
pookie, he was a killer, he was that nigga,
so
and
is
he
if
found
he's
God.
okay, he finds God, so I think he should have some time to walk with God alone before he goes and attaches himself to a woman and says, "Now I'm a man of God. Listen to what I say." Like you need to practice those things on your own first
But
and
how will we determine?
lead
Like,
by
if
example.
nobody's perfect, God is not even asking you to be perfect. God is just saying, "I wanna see how much of me is in your heart than the world. Show more of me in your heart, your actions." So I get what you're saying, his actions. How
Yeah, his
do you
actions
think
will
the
show
average
that
woman do you think
they're
the
not
average woman today who's not walking with God, I'm not saying religiously, I mean the actual relationship with God. Do you think many women could identify a man of God? You think they could?
the average
Not hard,
woman.
I'm just asking.
I don't know. A lot of people don't
I
know
don't
God.
think they could.
I don't know. I don't know every woman,
I know the
like
wo I know most of the women I come in contact with,
they don't know God. That's unfortunate.
most people don't have a relationship with God.
That's unfortunate.
Look at these dick and pussy conversations. None of it
No,
only time God come in go ahead.
but that's my point, Lucky. A lot of these conversations with men, they only bring up God and religion as it pertains to them being with a woman. Well, God said this is how I need to treat you, but they're not walking under God's well, walking with God in any
How do
other
we know?
any other. It'll show up by way of how he treats the woman in his life. Because
Mm.
if you really have a woman's best interest at heart, when you lead her, she won't feel like you're trying to control her. She won't feel like you're trying to
Mm,
suppress her. You won't feel
I do.
suppressed
I
when
remember
when you're when you're
I
considered.
feel like God we would feel like he was controlling us because we feel like God be controlling us.
You said God controls us.
Yeah, we would feel like he's controlling us, and he would be, rightfully so,
But
because in the order of God is
God,
to
how is God controlling us when he gave us free will? So how can you say he gave us, like, what does the Bible stand for? Basic instruction before leaving earth. So he gives us the instructions and also gave us the autonomy and the free will to do what we will.
yeah.
That's why you have all these Christians out here telling you that they want to see people get.
Most Christians don't follow God, they
But
follow
that's
the
what I'm
church.
saying. That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. When you're using
Yeah.
religion, you gotta be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's why I'm not using religion. I'm
you
just
have,
talking about relationship with God because
yeah,
nobody okay, people could determine we can't really determine where you are with your relationship with God. Only thing we can determine is where is your moral compass and what are your overall principles.
mhm,
The first thing we can decide is this man disciplined in whatever his walk is? Whether he cussed or he had a drink, that's not really they had a drink in the Bible. Why they drinking wine? You know what I'm saying? If you drink too much, you can't be drunk. He didn't say what he said you can't have a drink, but I can get I just can't get drunk.
mhm.
So there's nuances there. And then you have within our community where we do follow church. We don't follow the word in that book that we say we believe. So even if you go to Christianity in Ethiopia, right? That's a whole other thing. So there are belief systems with Christianity way before we understood here.
For
But what
sure.
I'm talking about is if women are saying that they want a particular type of man, I don't think a man of God is in your realm because you're not a woman of God. So I think these women who are saying, "Oh, you can't be no man of God or you can't do this." I'm not about to submit. I think that's a clear indicator that she doesn't follow God.
Maybe so.
If she has an argument. No, I'm just saying that's a based on scripture. If you have a problem with the laws and the rules in the book that state that this is your position, you say he don't tell us what to do. I think God definitely tells you what to do. If I tell
He
my
gives
child,
instructions. He gives you free will to choose what you want to do. He gives us instructions.
but if you don't do it, I'm going to hell. It sounds like
I don't believe in that because th- aren't you going to hell if you lie? Aren't you going to
yes.
hell? Aren't you going to hell? But come on now. I don't really think that I think it's about your moral compass and your character and how you treat others. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes on a daily basis. Like you said, God doesn't want us to be.
Lying is not a mistake, though. That's a choice to
But
not tell the truth.
what I'm saying is, even the smallest of lies, like saying, "Oh, I'm on my way," and you still at home.
You
You know,
lied. Why are you lying?
so you think God is going to send you to hell for that?
Yes. Yes, I
Well,
believe
I don't
him
know.
when he's why
I
we
don't know
think
about
he
that one,
why do
God.
see
I
why do
don't know.
see I blame the Baptists, the Pentecostal, the
Yeah,
non-denominational churches who teach that grace message so much. They didn't turn the next page where it said, now grace abounds, but should we continue in sin?
I just I
Absolutely
just think
not.
God is I think God and religion honestly are two different things. If you want to follow religion and this is what makes you feel safe to get closer to God, okay, but I also
See, you said religion. I'm just talking about
understand
God.
that you can but you keep bringing up the instructions in the Bible, sis. You're talking about religious beliefs based on the Bible. That's
Okay.
religion.
So,
God and
oh,
religion,
no, it's
God and
not.
religion are God and religion are two different things.
Yes.
That's where that's where we disagree.
You think religion is God.
No, I don't think that. That's what I'm saying. You're saying that you can't follow God if you don't follow these religious instructions in the Bible. What I'm saying is you can choose to follow the Bible, you could choose to follow the Quran, you could choose to follow all of these other religious books that
The
have different
principles are
instructions. It's
universal depending it
the same God. You
so,
know? So
I God is truth. God is word, right? Whether I make a book right now inspired by my relationship with God, yes, I wrote the book, right? And I could say this is the Church of Lucky.
you can
However, God
manipulate
is
whatever you
you're gonna
want.
find true, which is why they have so many replications of Jesus Christ. They have so many replications of religion. I believe I agree with you as far as religion is man-made. I don't think nobody can. There was a God before religion.
That's
These
what I'm
stories
saying.
was inspired by people's relationship with God, allegedly, right? So, God, however, the word of God, his principles are consistent whether I read a Buddhist book, whether I read the Quran, whether I read anything, his principles are literally the same. Faith, walk in it, um, um, character, all of those things as far as the things that most of us don't practice, especially and then if you look at instructions as far as if we say, okay, what's truth and what's universal as far as how we move as women, they're pretty much the same. Now in Middle East, it might be more extreme. Don't show nothing but your eyeballs. Maybe over here you could show a little, you know what I'm saying? They made people religion gives you a little bit more
It's
room, but the
manipulated by man.
principles are consistent. Huh?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
was
so
like it's manipulated by man, and that's why I say I don't put my faith in man. I don't put my faith in what a man wrote down in a book and said this is how to do it because a man took that book and told black people that they were supposed to be bound by other human beings because that's what God said. So because
mm,
this religion can be so easily manipulated by a man, I will never put my trust in that. And that's why I said we just agreed that God and religion are two different things. I
yeah.
can love God and center God in my life and know what that walk is and be it personal to me and please God according to my standards without following a religious book. So that's what I'm saying. Like you're you I can still be a woman of God and not follow a religious instruction based on what a religious belief.
So, okay, so then I would just ask, if a person says, "Okay," like that, like, then how do you know you're following God? Based on what?
Because I feel when it boils down to what God wants of his people is to have good character and to be
Oh,
loving.
where did you get that that's what he wants then? Where? If we gonna eliminate all the religious books, where did you get that?
Well, of course, in discovering who God was based on my environment, I found God by way of religion. But as I've grown, I've understood that God is separate from religion. And I understand that while there are great instructions in the Bible that you can follow, I do also know that if I have good character, I'm using my free will righteously and doing the right thing on a consistent basis, trying my best, using my gifts that God instilled in me to give back to others, I feel that I am pleasing God and following God and having faith in God.
So
If
it's
that
all it's basically feeling based. So we could feel this our whole life
I
and be
mean,
wrong.
isn't religion, it's all based on
I'm outside of religion. I'm
well,
just
I'm
trying
just
to say,
saying, like, yeah, I think it is about your
I don't
beliefs.
think religion is feeling based.
You don't think religion is feeling based?
It's an instruction, just like if you go to school, there are
Who
certain
made
rules you follow.
the instructions?
According to the Bible, they come from people's experience with God.
Okay. People's experiences with God, the people that wrote the
And they
instructions,
documented,
they document.
allegedly.
Do you see what I'm saying? Who was there
No,
to
you're okay,
who
let me just tell you this. You're
who was there
talking
to
to somebody who's
I'm not
not a
saying
Christian.
go
I'm
ahead.
not a Christian. I was raised Christian. I am not a Christian. However,
Mhm.
I am a person that does not eliminate anything that the Bible says, anything that the Quran says, just because the people who say, I think we have the wrong book. I think we were giving, which is why they manipulate and they change certain things because they inspired too much. We're missing the book of, we're missing like 26 books that will give you the book of Enoch. We're
Mhm.
missing Mary Magdalene had a book. It'll give you a different, but and even Mary Magdalene, her perspective in her book was more so kind of like what this lady is saying. But they didn't want us to be inspired or actually know anything. So there's also a book that only talks about him experiencing Christ spiritually. Like it's a whole thing. So
But that's
I
what
don't
I'm
never dismiss it. I don't ever dismiss it. But what I mean is I don't rule out religion or the whole thing just because of the church, just
yeah.
because it was used to weaponize. If there is still power and it's still ritual, we're still getting married. And I always argue this: if you're a person that is against the Bible and the religion, why are you getting married in the first place? It don't
Mhm.
even make no sense. You might as well just do whatever you gonna do. I don't agree that atheists should get married. It makes no sense because you're better to marry than to burn. So if we don't believe in the structure and we can argue, not saying you're right or wrong, but we can argue the things in the Bible, then where does our moral compass come from? Where does the principles come from that gives you order? How can we decide he's a man of God if we're going to eliminate the Bible? That means that if he says, kind of like you, I don't subscribe to the Bible, but I know I'm a man of God, or I
Mhm.
know I'm righteous. Okay, so how you know you're judging with righteous judgment? You can't then go to the Bible to condemn somebody if you are out of the Bible. So if people who don't use the Bible, how can we determine if he's a man of God or
I
if
don't know.
she's a woman of God?
I guess
You know,
I don't know. Maybe I don't know God. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
that's honest. That's
I
honest.
don't really fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to religion, I just think that God loves you anyway, regardless if you break these sins. It's about, and well, obviously there are some sins that you can't come back from, but I'm saying like this whole, if you don't submit, you're not following God. If you don't do it this way, you're not following God. I just think there's a separation between what these very like hardcore rules are
Mhm.
to be this upright
Yeah.
Christian. Nobody is living up to a standard. Like everybody is falling short. And now we're saying, well, if you fall short, you're going straight to hell. I don't that part I
I don't
don't
think
really,
we saying that though. I
but that's
think
what
it's
you said. You just said that even if you
no,
tell
I'm repeating what it says. Because if we're saying I believe in God
I don't know.
wholeheartedly, I don't first of all, we none of us most people do not believe hell
I
exists
just know
because
I
if
believe
you
in
really
God and I
believe
know
it
God is
exists,
real.
huh?
I say I just know I believe in God and I know God is real. I can't go back and forth with you about scripture. Maybe you can. I know I read the Bible, but I
I
don't know it
mean,
back and forth. I'm not a super religious buff like you,
not
and maybe
either.
oh, okay. Okay, well,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Okay, I just know what I be talking about. Well, I
yeah,
know what I be talking about.
yeah, but and I feel like
Okay.
I know what I'm talking about too, as far as
Yeah,
my
you
walk
do.
with God, and I know how to identify a man that walks with God. Now, if just because it's not because he's not carrying a Bible every day,
Well, no,
that
that's why
doesn't
I asked
mean.
you. It wasn't a right or wrong answer. I don't want you to feel like you have to it's just conversation because if I don't subscribe to the Bible, right? For me, I don't subscribe to religion because it is man-made. However, it's just like if you read a book and it's inspired by something. I'm sure TD Jake's female Bible has some facts in there that are
Mhm.
spiritual principles. I think if you go to a voodoo priest, you'll find some truth in there that is synonymous. Oh, yeah, this is true. Everything requires faith.
Yeah, it's your
Everything requires
interpretation.
belief. Everything God is an energy, it's not a him or her. It's an energy force, so you can that's a whole other conversation. So, as far as my understanding, it's not just belief can be shifted. My understanding of what God is evident as far as what has continuously happened. It's just an existing. It's an energy, whether you conjure up righteousness or you conjure up evilness.
Mhm,
But I think religion kind of makes it more misogynistic from the people who wrote it.
mhm,
But when we talk about order, I think the orders are consistent because then I would just say most people that argue the things in the Bible, they have not said, "You know what? I'm gonna try these principles to see if they work for my life."
mhm,
Most of the people that do those principles, male and female, their life changes tremendously. So that
mhm.
tells me there is something in those principles, whether I'm Buddhist and I follow those principles, whether I'm non-denominational, if I
Yeah,
just got rid of religion and I followed the principle, you know what I'm saying? So that tells me that God is truth. The truth is integrity. The truth
absolutely,
is this. So if a man of God to me, I would determine how disciplined he is in his walk and his purpose.
and that's what I'm
That's what
saying.
I would be able to. And
And
I
and
would say the same thing for a woman. It
and
would be
that's
how
yeah,
she follows
yeah.
his
That's
by
and
perfect purpose. Yeah.
But that's what I said from at the beginning, like, it's about your moral compass, it's about your character and what you choose to do with the free will that God gave you. If you choose to use your free will to Bible thump and condemn others for not believing in your beliefs, because you think that's pleasing God, okay. But if you are a good person and walking in a righteous way that is, that you can approve of and that is helpful to others and yourself, I think that's also walking with God. I don't think you have to be super religious to say, like, if I'm not super religious, then I don't know God. That's where I just don't agree with
Yeah,
that.
I think from what she's saying, I totally agree with she's saying because there's a lot of different versions of people feeling about religion, but I honestly think sounds crazy. We are not our best when we rebel against even the man-made religion. I think every country has a religion that is tied to political power and is tied to an order of culture. And I think once we got out of that, we our culture once religion our culture was replaced with hip hop and entertainment, I think that's where it became lost as far as, how we're supposed to move as husband and wife. So
So you
that's
said
my
some
opinion.
you said are the worst when we rebel. So you said rebelling, is that like something the Bible condemns? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking.
Rebellion?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But Jesus
Rebellion is bad just in
but
anything.
Jesus rebelled against the church, did he not?
No, he did not. He had a problem with the
Did he?
church because yeah, Jesus did not no, Jesus had a problem with the church. He came
That's
Jesus
rebellion,
came
right? And he had a problem and he pushed back on the church because
well
he had a
because the
problem,
church
right?
was not operating that of God. You're not supposed to charge and tax people in the name of God. You're not the same thing we follow today. It's
Why
not of
did
God.
he so wait,
So
I'm confused. So
came
why
here. So Jesus came to show you how to walk because the people that were appointed, they was felon, whatever the case may be, right? You got Saul, you got all
so
these people, humans. So he came to show you how to walk, which means when he talked, I'm not gonna go to the religious class, but he came to teach you, which is why he said he showed you how to heal. He showed you how to do these things, and they thought it was rich witchcraft. They deemed him as witchcraft. Jesus would be more so seen as a Muslim than a
mm,
Christian
mhm.
in the practices. The Christian church practices things that were such as he was against the debt collectors. He was against how they were moving as far as the I mean, we could talk about the Protestants, but yeah, pretty much the Jewish.
So
We
you
could say
don't find that as rebellion, that was just
it
him
wasn't
coming
rebellion.
and disagreeing and then trying to change it.
Jesus cannot rebel against an order if people are not doing it correctly. If
Mhm,
Jesus came down here and was to say, Jazz, you're not walking correctly, and everything he showed you was against what a building taught you to be like, that's not rebelling.
mm, okay.
Yeah, yeah. if you just look at practices, and I'll link, honestly, I'll start to link literature and things. I would just say, I don't want to say what I listen to because he gets a lot of backlash, or just him. But I read a lot of things in different books that kind of opened my eyes to American Christianity, and religion, and how typically typically the things that we that Jesus Christ judged the church with, such, I'm not talking about the Ethiopian Bible, I'm talking about America, and how the Bible that we know it, the things that were judged, we it ain't even supposed to have church on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It just gets so deep into, it ain't supposed to be on a Sunday. It ain't supposed to be. It just gets so. I ain't trying to go into all that. Let's just read the super chats. So El Nixon said, if the woman of the house makes a financial error and more income is needed, more than likely she won't be the one getting second job. If she calls dad, he's going to ask, what is your man doing? Well, we're going 50-50. That's what the man is doing. Shout out to Nix. Nix also said, God would tell her to get off YouTube. We talking about you, just.
God would tell her to get off YouTube. Thank you.
All right, Big Draws. He said most women don't even know what is best for themselves. How can they discern if that man knows for them?
Why do men think that? Do you not know what's best for yourself, Lucky? Are you just so lackadaisical in the world that you just don't know what to do with yourself unless a man tells you what to do?
You know, I think I know
So
what's
where
best
do
for
men
me.
get that shit from?
Well, I
I
think I
really
know what's best for me.
I really want to know, like, where do y'all get that we don't know what's best for ourselves? We've been living our lives away from men until we become married, or whatever the case may be, as single people for this long, making decisions for ourselves, earning income, keeping roofs over our head, getting an education, doing all of the things that upstanding citizen is supposed to do, but we don't know what's best for ourselves, but we excel. I'm just trying to figure out what that means. Does he mean like in terms of like choosing a man? Like is it about a man again? Because I don't that really annoys me, because they try to make women seem like we just be walking around like this. I don't know what I want what to do with myself. We're so lackadaisical and so dumb, but yet you require us to raise your children. But yet we're supposed to be the perfect wives for you. But we're so dumb and we don't know. If we don't know what's best for ourselves, why do you need us to be mothers to your children? If we don't know what's best for ourselves, how can we nurture or provide anything for anybody else? Like, really think about what you're saying when you say that.
I think I think I've heard this before. Um, I think I know what's best for myself now
It takes experience.
through
I will
trial
give
and
you.
error.
Oh, 1000%. On 1000%. No one's
But see, I
perfect.
think that I shouldn't have to learn through trial and error,
How else do you
because then it
learn?
would be, well, in a perfect world, right?
There's no such
In a
thing.
I agree, but in a perfect world, most of us wouldn't have had to learn through trial and error. We would have just got that man of God.
But the thing is that God didn't set it up that way. He needed you to have trial and error to learn. Because why if that was the case, then everybody would be perfect, nobody would make mistakes, everything would always work out. But in order to build good character, which I believe God wants you to have over anything, is that you go through things to learn through things so that you become a more evolved, productive person for yourself and for the people around you. If everything is perfect and you never experience error and you never experience the type of character needed to get out of a bad situation that you face, then how do you build character? How do you build
I think
mental
character,
fortitude? How do you
I would
build
say for me, I would have preferred to build character in the context of a relationship. I hate that I had to build character out of bitterness and then not be so bitter. You know what I'm saying? But I have one clip before we have people who want to question us. Okay. One at a time, y'all. Make sure y'all on camera. We're gonna play this one clip.
talk? Oh, did I piss him off?
Oh, I don't know. One of us. I don't know. Let's just talk. Let's go.
When the NBA season starts, That's where all the bad habits are. So when the season starts, now I'm flying to Miami. Now I'm flying to Atlanta. Now I'm flying to Los Angeles, New York, right? Houston.
Yeah.
Coming in 2, 3 in the morning. Where am I going? Strip club. Right? Club. So we are partying and drinking damn near every city we go.
What?
Different girls every city we go. So we're partying during the season on our work schedule. In the summer, we ain't doing none of that.
Yeah.
Because our girlfriends and our families. I lie to my wife every day.
What the fuck?
10, 12 lies a day. That's my job, to lie. Her job is to try to catch the lie.
So you've been through the whole phase.
Yeah.
And you lived it, and now you're settled down. I'm not gonna lie, respect.
No, see, you said settle down like I'm happy. that's wild, man. Don't put that on me.
That's embarrassing. Is he married now?
So he's married to my support sister. I love her, Melly Monaco. We've done content on this channel. I've done content on her channel. He is married to the most beautiful woman. The sad part is I think that most of what he said is probably true. That we get lied to. We just don't know which lies we're getting told.
He lies to women. Men who think that shit is funny lie to women. Men who think it's cool to betray their spouses and partners, they think that's cool. Solid men don't do goofy shit like that. That's corny. And then laughing about it, you grown as hell talking about, I lie to my wife 10, 12 times a day. You don't deserve a fucking
Well,
wife.
he did say he liked to see Saucy Santana twerking.
So it's already some weird shit going on. It's already some weird shit going on. Nobody should be listening to men like that as it pertains to relationships. But the fucked up thing about it is that a lot of men will think that's okay because he has money, because he has status. He can drag his wife. He can get up here and speak to other young men and say, yeah, I lie. And then even said, like, you said I settled, like I'm happy. This is not the type of men that should be like people should be looking to for relationship advice.
I agree. Any man who say he want to see Saucy Santana twerk, I'm just kind of like,
so you're gay. You want to see another man shake his ass, you're gay.
I don't think people listen to Gilbert, but we do have a caller. Shout out to Vail. Are you ready? Give me a thumbs up. All right. Nice for you to join us. It's something must have made you want to call in. What questions did you have? What did you like? Nice to meet you.
Hey, how you doing? I just caught the live not too long ago. You guys were talking about the Bible and stuff like that, and you know how can I say, you go by faith or freedom and stuff like that. And I just wanted to elaborate on that with Jazz and stuff like that. Hi, Jazz. How you doing? How beautiful.
I know you got smoke from me.
Huh?
How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
I said, of course, you coming up to address
No,
me.
it's not no smoking, nothing like that. Trust me, I watch you all the time. I watch everybody. Like, I'm a fan of everybody. Best believe it. But long story short, I just wanted to go by the Bible. The Bible is like a book of instructions. You know what I mean? So like God gave us laws and stuff like that, and we have to follow those laws. Compared to what free will, because free will, you can do whatever you want, and if you're doing whatever you want, you don't know what's right and what's wrong. You know what I mean? And the Bible helps helps you not bump your head. You know what I mean? He gives you laws to follow, like eating pork. That's bad. Shrimp, crab, and lobster, bad. Fornication, bad. Stuff like that. Just all of that stuff that majority of our people do willfully. We shouldn't be doing, and that's why we're in the state that we're in, because of the situation of our community and how we move in our community. You know what I mean? When we should buckle down and actually listen to, the Most High, because he said he was only choose talking to one family in the earth, which was our family. Not the people over there with the small hats, but us, because we are the true, Hebrews, whatever like that, and we are the people that control majority of the things, like entertainment wise. Nobody else moves like we move. You feel what I'm saying? We are the greatest of the greats. You understand? So he chose us to follow laws, statutes, and commandments. And once we don't do that, we're I wouldn't say we're cursed, but I mean in the book it says that because of us not hearkening to his words. He said he will put us higher above all nations in the world. But if we don't listen, we'll be low. And I don't know if you say you're very pro black and whatever, but
Mhm.
if you read if you ever open the Bible, is this one scripture I want you to read.
Mhm.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. You'll read that, and all those curses fit our people. Slavery on ships, that fits us. All of that stuff that he's talking about will happen to the children of Israel. And the children of Israel is us, low key, because all the curses, it fits us to a T. That's all I wanted to elaborate with. Long story short, though, keep doing what you guys doing and keep doing good things. Okay. I'm sorry. I get nervous.
You're not. Don't be nervous. You're handsome. Got a nice face.
Right, you got cool eyes.
Thank you.
When you say we're cursed, so are you saying like we did something to deserve to be enslaved? What are we
Oh,
saying?
now we going into
I
the
So now
mean,
are we
gods
saying we
and
brought,
stuff.
are
God
we
is our.
saying are we
Go ahead.
saying that we brought shadow slavery and systemic racism onto ourselves?
Kind of, sort of. Yes.
We did that to themselves, to ourselves, even though you have a group of people who their whole entire they use their free will to use their culture to harm other people, and somehow we made them do that, even though that's what they chose to, in the name of Christianity, by the way, in the
Mm-hmm.
name of God.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we are the ones who did something to deserve them bestowing that evil and hatred onto us unprovoked. Is that what we're saying?
Basically, yes, because we didn't listen. God was our
What do
father.
you listen to?
Huh?
What didn't black people listen to in the past, to, well, let's say BC or wherever time frame that was,
Mm-hmm.
before slavery in America?
Mm-hmm.
What did black people do that cursed ourselves to deserve the treatment that we've endured in this country?
We were stiff necked. We didn't hearken unto the word of the Lord, thy God, because he told us that we will be put on higher from all nations. You know what I mean? And um, if we just follow his laws, which is, I don't know if you know about the commandments. It's not just 10 commandments. It's actually 300 and I think 16 that we supposed to
Oh,
follow.
what Bible is
And
that from?
this is the 1611 King James.
So a lot of people recreated the structure of the Bible, is what you're saying.
Well, and yes, in the Apocrypha, it tells you that they took the likenesses of our images and made it into their own. So like Jesus and all the Mary and all of them,
Yeah.
they took those images because they were all melanated people. You could look this up if you do the research and dig deep. They were all melanated. Like over there in Europe, Putin, in Russia, they pray to the black Jesus still. Every other person, I mean, every other part of the world pray to black people.
So
It's
every
just here. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm just trying to walk it down. Like y'all are
Mhm.
way smarter than me on this subject, okay? So just bear with me.
Okay.
So you're saying
Hmm.
even though all across the world people worship black Jesus, people worship black people, but even with that being said, we still did something to create the type of environment that other people bestowed onto black people in America. You're saying we still did something, even though we are being worshiped, even though we are God's people, right? We somehow
Hmm.
cursed ourselves to be treated poorly by people who chose to use their free will to wreak havoc on other people just because of their skin.
His,
How come? How come? So
Mhm.
were the other people not cursed?
No, because he didn't know those families of the earth at that time, and he only chose us. So he said, "I am your God. I am your Father. I am yours. So if you don't listen to me, I will punish you by
What did-
taking my protection away from you." And that's what
Okay.
happened. The hedge of protection came off of us, and once that hedge of protection came off of us, that's when we fell subjugated to the other nations, the heathens, which would be the Romans, the
Got you, the European.
Hamites.
I got you.
You know,
So, what is it that we did? Like, what caused the curse? Like, give me an actual
us,
thing. Like, we
us.
didn't do this. You said stiff necked at first, but like, can
Hmm.
you expound on that? What do you mean by that? So, God told us to do this, and we was like, "Nah, fuck that."
Pretty much, yes.
Okay,
When
what was?
when Moses went to the mountain, he was over there talking to God, and God was telling him, giving him the laws. As he came back, we made calves and worship different deities when we were supposed to.
I
You
knew you were
know,
going there. Are you a Hebrew Israelite?
I'm not, but I subscribe to some
I
of
never
the.
heard of
There's
this. I'm
nothing wrong with it. Isn't I knew you were going there. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. I don't want you to feel that way.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Super
No
chats
problem.
do stop the live. I just want to read this really quick. Shout out to El Nixon been sponsoring our shows. Shout out to you. In every fallen civilization, the same things led to its demise: decline in masculinity and family structure. For women, it was materialism, decline of modesty, chastity, and the same Hinduism as men. I could see that being materialism with us being the decline. Chance, we are sisters. I just you know I have a gray hair like
girl. I got gray hair all over my head.
I do too. Okay, I don't feel so bad. Anyway, but I do thank you guys. Let's see here. Any other
Thank you for
questions?
the
Let me
insight. I learned something new today.
any
I
other
didn't
super
so
chat.
we deserved it. So everything that we've endured, we deserved it because we sinned.
You
Damn.
know, we
Right.
can get back. We can get back on his good graces. All we gotta do is just get back to the laws. Once we get back to the laws and move accordingly, we gonna
Mm.
be up. We gonna be on
We
high.
know
You
God.
feel me?
I have
We
an
know
announcement too. But let me read this really quick. This is the
Yeah.
last super chat. Thank you so much, Nix. He said, Jazz, read Leviticus 26 for they love you, Jazz. List
no,
the
they hate me.
punishments of disobedience. This is Jazz. This is love. When people want to correct something,
That's love.
they love it. They just want you to we just all want to be on but you should see me when I first started. Okay? Including
Love is
invasion,
correction.
captivity. Also read he said Deuteronomy as well.
Is this a scripture about why we deserved chattel slavery and it's our fault?
It's not why we deserved it. It's what it was a
Because he's
prophecy
saying
of what
it's
would happen.
the cause and the reaction,
Yes,
the
it's
Oh,
cause and
consequence.
effect.
oh, okay. Oh,
So
okay. Well,
just a
I guess
question really quick, Bill,
wait.
really
Hmm.
quick, just for me.
Yes.
So how do you feel about EFI?
I never heard of that. I never really got too deep into it. What
So
is that like? What's been the
EFI
ancestors?
is literally the belief in the religion you were talking about where they did worship deities like Oshun,
Hmm.
um, Heros, all of that type the things that you're saying. So the Orishas.
I mean, our Haitian and Dominican brothers, they did that. That's the tribe of Levi and the tribe of Simeon. And God gave them the powers to do that, but just in righteousness. We have to do things in righteousness instead of doing things, within our, how can I say, our free will. Because, I don't know if you ever heard this saying is it by a known Satanist. His name is Aleister Crowley. He
Uh-huh.
says, do what I will,
So with that
meaning do what you want to do. Don't care. Just have free
you
will.
know who else says that?
Who else?
Jay-Z. But we're just
Over.
going to
So
But
what?
but 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 honestly,
I
God
like this.
didn't say you have free will to do whatever you want. I thought it was you have free will to choose to do the right thing because like you said, the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth, gives you the right things to do. So you
Hmm.
know the right thing to do, but if you choose to use your free will to do the wrong thing, that's not a bad thing. That's not us having free will doesn't make it wrong. It's not, oh, we have free will to do whatever we want. I think where we fall short is when we choose to use our free will to do the wrong thing when we know the right thing to do. And I don't think that people are deliberately choosing to do the wrong thing and then to turn around and say that, well, we deserved what we endured because of that.
I get what you're saying. I definitely understand where you're going at. But also it also says willfully sinning. If you sin willfully, he will not hear your prayer anymore because of the the actions you chose. You know what I
He
mean? So
sees
like
no
say
sin.
if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and
Oh,
not repenting,
absolutely.
he's gonna be like, yo, I'm done. I'm
For sure.
snapping my hands away from you at this point because you sinned willfully. Like he gave us a grace period, and he also gave his son, which would be the sacrificial lamb. Like everything else has not been done away with. People always say since Jesus got sacrificed that everything else is done away with, and we can just do whatever we want, and that is not the case because he also said, "I'm not here to destroy the law, but to fulfill it." And he said until heaven and earth pass over, meaning until everything come together, until his heavenly kingdom comes on earth as it will in heaven. No T's, no T's, no. I can't even say it for real.
You
But
know,
no
we don't
jot,
even
no
need
jot,
to.
and no tittle.
You don't even need to. I just want to say this. Thank you for coming up.
No
Earlier, the
problem.
question was, "Can you identify a man of God?"
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
could,
See, I just,
I
I
could
just,
see it in you. I could see it in you. Yeah.
I
Thank you so
appreciate you.
much.
Thank you.
We do have another caller. I'm gonna pull you down. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
That's a man of God. Find your queen.
What
What's
up, what
up,
up, what up?
Rush? Thank you for calling in. This is the last caller, Jazz.
What up,
What
what
do you
up?
want to ask? What do you want to comment on today? J Lo, Keisha Kayor, what Nick?
Yeah, I wanted to chime in what son just said, that the tribe of Levi and Simeon, are, I guess he was trying to say that they're considered to be the high priest, but that's incorrect. The tribe of Levi is considered to be the high priest. They were demoted from being a high priest because they would use instruments to hurt their own people. That's why they got demoted. I mean,
We got another man of God. You follow God.
of course I do.
Let
What
me
is
find
boom?
out black men out here following God. Jazz, is this something new? We gotta
Listen,
do a show. We
I
gotta do a
thought
show
we
to
was.
just take
Listen,
male callers.
I don't want to. I don't want to speak too much because I'm not well versed in all of this.
You
So
don't have to. We ain't supposed to. We lost without them. They need to know, not us.
I don't want to speak too much because you just said I'm following you, but you just used a lot that I'm learning everything in real time right now as far as this level of understanding of religion and things like that. So
Hey,
I
I'm gonna
don't
go
know.
back and read some stuff too. I subscribe, and I'm not done, but I subscribe to one of the people being Phil Valentine. I love the way he breaks them down. I'm not sure if y'all heard of him.
Mm.
But yeah, go ahead. Anything else you want to say, Rush?
Yeah, man. Salute to you. I mean, I'm a big fan of your joint. I mean, I've been following you for a few years now. I
You
mean,
used to call in.
yeah. On a regular. You know what I mean? So, this tapping in. I think this is a dope
Thank you.
subject matter. You know what I mean? I think you should do more shows like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we gonna do a show and says if you a man of God, call in. That's what we gonna do. And let
I
y'all
bet.
just talk to us because we
All
know
right.
nothing without y'all. We're so lost.
All
Thank
right.
you. All right.
All right.
This was fun, Jack. Oh, you was talking. I'm sorry. I'm quick with the trigger finger. Um, this was good, Jazz. Good little chit chat.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to spiral all into like religion and
I don't want you to. There's been times where I had to listen to things that were new. Even hear me listening to stuff. I don't want you to take my chat. I don't know nowhere else. My chat, they do the same thing with me. I'll have a whole stream. Everybody would disagree. Okay, but I said what I said. Okay.
Oh, I'm not looking for everybody to agree with me, but like we're unpacking things about religion and all of the things.
Everybody has
I
different.
know what I know, but I know the things that I say, it may not resonate with others. So, I'm just here to learn. That's why I'm like, okay, well tell me something,
Well,
maybe I
that's
don't
why I like
know
the
God.
law. The
desire.
walk with God is definitely a day-to-day journey, especially if we
And I
are
thought it was
single
personal.
people. It
Mhm.
is. So the things that I believed probably 5 years ago, I have a different understanding now. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? I used to think um, one of the main things that helped me not be in such a sinful lifestyle with women anymore and just kind of like I could say, oh, she's attractive, but I feel disgusted. I don't see myself being in a relationship with a woman. And it was me first understanding and listening to you would
Yeah.
not inherit the kingdom of God. I have not seen that at all prior to that. And I had a church family, you know what I'm saying? But they
Mhm.
do church, the building and the building rules.
Mhm.
You know, the pastor, I like the kind that fold, not the kind that jingle. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Those pastors, they go to church to please the pastor,
Yeah.
not really do God's where they also um one of the things I heard all the time was, "Call those things that be not as though they were," from somebody who complained and never called those things that be not as though they were, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Religion was always used as something to weaponize, to get me to straighten up, kinda like slavery. I think we were taught how to do religion from slavery, but not how to do relationship with God because that's our true strength. So I
Mhm.
think to what
No,
he
I
was
can
saying
agree with that, yeah.
so what he was saying, I'm more interested in reading more into it because just what I understand is that there has to be some we are rebellious as a people, and it could be quite possible that people who hold the key of consciousness, which is us, which also there are things tied to us that aren't in other beings, that there's a reason why the fix it and the healing and everything has come from us as far as us being creators. There's a difference in us. But I won't we don't know all the knowledge. We're still learning, you know what I'm saying? But I believe with God, God becomes less evident in a world where we're so easily distracted of things. Our flesh is running it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't do this, I can't do this. And then we start arguing certain things. So
Mhm.
I like how the conversation went today where we don't all have the answers. But one thing I
That's
can
what I'm like, I
say
don't know, but
we
he
can have a different we all have relationship with God. Now whether whatever he did today so the people watched us, maybe somebody revealed something that'll help them or people felt led to call in and actually give input. And they were men. I love that. Let me find out. Let me find out. Okay, anyway. Thank you, Jazz. This was another great one. Y'all go follow Jazz on her channel. She is tagged this time. So go follow her on her channel. And we will catch you guys on the next one.
Thank
Bye,
you. See
guys.
you later.
Bye.
If you don't like me, that's fine. But, you know, watch your mouth.